This is the After Party, live with Kim McAllister. Pick a couch, grab a drink, and settle into the conversation.
Aloha, welcome to the After Party Live on a Waterfall Wednesday. And Mark was back, lots to talk about after the show. So thank you for your patience as always, and I appreciate you being here. Hopefully we get a little relaxation, take a deep breath. I got a great email message from Walter, who checked in at Kim at the afterparty.live to talk about waterfalls in New Zealand. So that is where we will be going today. Wes, I got your $5. Thank you so much for the contribution to the After Party Live. Also looking at one from Wes from yesterday, Janet W, Donald S, Kathleen G. Thank you to everyone who contributes to this show. And I know I don't say it enough, so please click the like button. Please subscribe if you haven't already. We kind of keep floating around. We're flirting with 2,500 subscribers. I know it doesn't seem like a lot when you look at Mark's show with 126 the last time I checked, 1,000 subscribers. So, but still every person counts, every subscription counts. So thank you for subscribing to this show. Even if you never watch it again, thank you for clicking the subscribe button and helping a girl out. Let's jump into some of these stories that I have. The first one, I was touched by the outpouring of support for Ozzy Osbourne in his hometown of Birmingham in the UK. And they rolled the hearse through the streets, and so many fans came out to pay tribute after the passing of Ozzy Osbourne. Fans just flooding the streets in a show of support to his grieving family and to his lifetime of performing and the music that he leaves behind. The family experiencing the love of thousands and thousands of people. They say, according to Sky News, they turned out to see the heavy metal star come home. They were shouting, "We love you, Ozzy." There were a lot of people headed to what they call Black Sabbath Bridge. And there is Black Sabbath Bridge. And look at all the flowers and the people crowded around, the notes of love and the balloons. Just, it's a real amazing kind of wow, the outpouring for him. The family spent some time going through the flowers and the messages and looking at what people had left behind. There were a lot of tears. The family members carried pink roses with black paper and purple ribbon, that's black and purple, the Black Sabbath colors, I guess. And so they were, taking part in part of the community's outpouring of grief. They traveled past his childhood home in Aston, where just a few weeks ago he was performing his final gig. So, a sad situation. They say for his fans, this was a chance not just to say goodbye, but to say thank you to this man who never forgot where he came from. And it meant a lot to them as well. But that is what it looked like in Birmingham. And there is the hearse. You can see the purple flowers that say Ozzy and all the people taking pictures and turning out there. Something a little cuter. We have 3 new baby capybara pups in the world, and they're pretty cute. But I want them in my house? Absolutely not. But here they are. These 3 capybara pups born at the New Orleans Zoo. Zoo people are offering the first glimpse. The Audubon Nature Institute in New Orleans announcing the 3 pups born July 20th. Their parents' names are Turkey and Sequoia. The zoo said on social media, "Oh, Cappy Day. We're very happy to share some exciting news." The parents are part of the zoo's species survival plan for capybaras. They've been the world's largest rodent. They are native to South America. Well, they are the world's largest rodent, I should say. But they say that the babies are doing great. The parents are both doing great and caring for their young. And they say, don't let the little legs fool you. The capybara pups are born ready to explore. They start roaming around almost immediately. They can even begin nibbling on vegetation as early as 4 days old. Right now, they're being kept behind the scenes while they bond with each other. But sometimes you can see them from the swamp train ride. Does that not sound fun in going to the zoo in New Orleans on the swamp train? These 3 capybara pups, they don't have names yet. Here's a fun day in the summer. You look outside to the pool, and there's a cow in there. Looks like the pool needs a little cleaning, I will say. But that is what happened in Oklahoma, where the cow just wandered into the backyard and was found in the pool. So firefighters were called out to pull this cow out of the backyard swimming pool. It was a floater that was apparently kind of buoyant. This man says, I was getting my coffee and my wife said, Gordon, there's a cow in the yard. The cow found its way to the couple's 4-foot deep above ground pool, and then the firefighters came out. They say they were scratching their heads thinking this is probably the first time they've ever fished a cow out of a swimming pool. They recorded the video on tape. They say it was unique as it was a livestock, an actual cow, and not only a cow, but a cow in the swimming pool. The firefighters used some chains and a truck winch to get that cow onto dry land. And they say eventually everything was fine and they just were guiding this cow back to where it needed to be. But they do have video. They recorded the whole thing. I have it to show you because why not, right? If you are as amused as I am, I'm telling you, the life of a firefighter is never dull. You could say that. Here's what it looks like. Yeah, I think they need to maybe it's a black bottom pool, but I don't know. It looks like maybe they need to do a little pool cleaning. Here's what it looks like. And who am I to judge you guys?
The pull on. Whenever she tries to climb out, she just needs to have some. We just take a chain and hook it around her neck where it wouldn't slip up and choke her, And that's what we do.
Gotta have the remote, which is gonna be in that right there. Right there. Yeah. A little bit more.
The water's so dark it's hard to see the cow. Oh, there she is. Yeah.
I don't get you out of here.
The good news is the water's only 4 feet deep, so
Yeah.
it was all right.
No worries.
You gotta take it slow.
I just want to see the part where they pull her out.
Hold on, Justin. Back up, Justin.
Boy, it took them a while, didn't it?
Then if you can hook this in.
Yeah, it took a while. I'll say their backyard is beautiful. I don't think I'd go swimming in that pool, though. Oh, she's out. All right. And looks okay. Looks just fine, right?
Ciao, cowboy.
Thanks, firefighters. And there they go. Cow rescued. All is well that ends well. Everybody's okay. Boy, it took them a long time to get that done. This isn't such a happy story. This is a wasp's nest. Sadly, this nest full of wasps was found at this South Carolina site that once was an area where they made nuclear bomb parts. And as such, this wasp nest was found to be radioactive. I know. It sucks. Workers at this site in South Carolina that once made these key parts for nuclear bombs found a radioactive wasp nest. They say there's no danger to anyone, although, I mean, would you want to be bitten by a radioactive wasp? I don't know if there's no danger to anyone. The employees routinely check the radiation levels at the Savannah River site near Aiken, and they found this wasp nest earlier this month on a post right near some tanks where liquid nuclear waste is kept. This, according to a report from the United States Department of Energy. This nest had a radiation level 10 times more than allowed by federal regulations. So they sprayed the nest with insect killer, they removed it, and they disposed of it as radioactive waste. But they never found any wasps here. The report said there is no leak from the waste tanks, and the nest is likely radioactive through what they called on site legacy radioactive contamination, which is from the residual radioactivity left over from when that site was fully operational. They call the report incomplete because it doesn't detail exactly where this radioactivity came from, how the wasps might have gotten it, encountered it, come into contact with it. And there is always a possibility there could be another radioactive nest if there is a leak somewhere, and they don't know. They also say knowing the type of wasp nest could be critical because some wasps make nests out of dirt and others use different material, and that could all go into figuring out where the contamination came from. The folks in this area are not so pleased with the report, but the tank farm is inside the boundaries of the site, and they say the wasps generally fly just a few hundred yards from their nests. That's why they think that there's no danger outside of this facility. If there had been wasps found, they say they would have significantly lower levels of radiation than their nests. They've been making they had been making the nuclear parts here since the 1950s, manufacturing the plutonium pits needed to make the core of nuclear bombs. They've been doing it since the start of the Cold War. Now, this site has shifted toward making fuel for nuclear plants and cleanup as well. This site in Aiken generated more than 165 million gallons of liquid nuclear waste, which is through evaporation, been reduced to about 34 million gallons. That, according to the Savannah River Mission Completion Project. There are still 43 underground tanks in use. 8 of them have been closed. So this is an ongoing issue at this site. Yikes. Don't like to hear about the radioactive wasps. I do like to hear about this, though. Always looking for new developments, new ways of helping people that have Parkinson's, Alzheimer's, memory loss, brain issues, these type of things. What you're looking at is a whole brain organoid. What's that? Well, it's a complex cell culture. And the hope is that it could pave the way for new treatments for patients that have things like Parkinson's and Alzheimer's. Biomedical engineers managed to grow a whole brain organoid. This team at Johns Hopkins University created some of the first whole brain organoids that included interconnected functional tissues from each region of the human brain. They published this in the paper Advanced Science. These are neuronal cell masses that display activity similar to what's seen in a 40-day-old human fetus. And the hope is that they might allow for better, more effective drug treatments for these brain diseases, what they think are brain diseases right now. The brain organoid development is being called one of the most promising, complex, and surreal biomedical frontiers. It's derived from pluripotent human stem cells, The lab-grown cultures are functioning as rudimentary minds. They lack sentience, but they do have basic cognitive functions like memory and learning. Limited by their two-dimensional designs, the newer three-dimensional compositions are already capable of playing rudimentary games of Pong and powering small robots as well. They say these are more than just lab tricks, that these cell blobs could kickstart a new era of neuropsychiatric research, treatment, brain-computer interfaces, and even new forms of artificial organoid intelligence, which should be scary to all of us. They say most brain organoids that you see in papers are one brain region, like the cortex or the midbrain. Ideally, they'd like to observe every region of brain working in tandem so they can study neurodevelopment holistically. But sometimes it's easier said than done. They want to study models with human cells. They say if you want to understand neurodevelopment disorders or neuropsychiatric disorders, you can't really just peek into someone's brain to do that, to see if the treatments work, all these types of things. But after a lot of experimentation, they say they became one of the world's first teams to grow what they call multi-region brain organoids. So that's pretty cool. They first grew neural cells from separate brain regions along with basic blood vessels in an array of lab dishes. And then they attached individual regions together using sticky proteins. They call it biological superglue that connected these tissues. And as they meshed up, the region started generating electrical activity as a unified network. They say they even had the formation of an early blood-brain barrier, which is super cool. Now, these are much smaller than a human brain, obviously. Each one has 6 to 7 million neurons. An adult brain contains tens of billions of neurons. But it's a start. It's a start. Now, I think ethics surrounding this, what we do with it, how we use this, it's going to be really important in the future. So, the researchers say if you can understand what goes wrong in early development in the brain, that maybe we can be able to find new targets for help and drug screening and all these types of things. That these whole brain organoids let us watch disorders develop in real time, see if the treatments work, even tailor therapies to individual patients. Super cool. I just saw this story about how wrinkles work, and I didn't think it was much of a surprise, but kind of interesting the way this story sets it out. I mean, yeah. They say the skin stretches like silly putty. Here's some wrinkles for us to look at. They say the skin stretches like silly putty, and the researchers say they found the holy grail of skin mechanics. Didn't say they could do anything about it. It's not like they can wipe away wrinkles tomorrow with this fantastic new discovery. But they have now science behind why wrinkles develop. So, the researchers at Binghamton University, State University of New York as well, decided to look into this, and they say their findings are a first of its kind conclusive analysis offering a remarkably simple explanation for how wrinkle lines form in the first place. And they published their study in the Journal of Mechanical Behavior of Biomedical Materials. And they say this is all about movement. Of course, the more we move, the more our skin stretches, the more wrinkles we get. And it's no longer just a theory. We now, they say, have hard experimental evidence showing the physical mechanism behind aging. And the team calls it a holy grail for understanding skin mechanics, especially in the context of a multi-billion-dollar industry dedicated to all kinds of dermatology regimes. They try to get a better understanding of the skin's properties. So they recruited a group of volunteers ranging in age from 16 to 91, and they used low force tensometers to stretch small strips of their skin to simulate everyday forces applied to the body's largest organ, the skin. The results showed that as skin stretches one way, it contracts in the other direction. And these contractions grow larger with age, forming wrinkles in the process, kind of like silly putty. They say if you stretch silly putty, for instance, it stretches horizontally, but it also shrinks in the other direction. It gets thinner. And that's what our skin does as well. As you get older, the contraction gets bigger. And if your skin contracted too much, it buckles. And that is how wrinkles form. You've contracted too much. The skin's mechanical properties get a little more wonky as you age, and things degrade a bit as well. The researchers say it turns out skin stretches laterally more, which causes the actual wrinkles that form. And the reason why that exists in the first place is that your skin is not in a stress free state. It's stretched a little bit. So there are inherent forces within your skin itself, and those are the driving forces toward wrinkles. So if you have a more physically active career, like maybe you work in construction, you're kind of moving a lot, you're more likely to have aged, wrinkled skin than if someone maybe works in an office. The mechanical stress may be the biggest influence on how wrinkles initially develop, but they do say the protection against major issues like sun damage and hormonal imbalances will keep your skin healthy. Just because your skin is smooth, it's not immune to UV radiation, so you still have to put on the SPF, even if you're sitting in an office building or inside. But they now understand a little bit more about how our skin works and functions. Hey, there's a new smart ring, and it's kind of pretty. Got a little sparkle, little bling for you. Yeah. It's called an AI powered diamond ring. And the reason it was developed is to help us reduce our screen use. The company's name is Spectral. There are no vowels. SPKTRL, Spectral. And they have this AI driven smart ring that promises to reduce screen use. This smart ring is embedded with a 1.5 carat diamond that flashes in different colors to alert the wearer of their most pressing notifications, which they say will enable you to spend more time without your phone. Do you need a diamond ring to give you notifications from your phone? I don't think so. No. Mm-mm. It's a wearable tech object, also a piece of high jewelry. Driven by artificial intelligence, the spectral light ring limits how often the wearer is interrupted by alerts from their smartphone, applying filters so only urgent messages are signaled. Can't you set your phone to do that? They've got a system of personalized color coded signals indicating the priority of incoming phone calls or messages, alerting you to key work related contacts or messages from loved ones as well. So I would say if you like the ring and you love the way it looks as far as a piece of jewelry, maybe it's an added bonus that it will flash different colors and let you know when you've got a really important message. Can we do without this? I think so. Mhm. It's a lab grown diamond that's colorless. And when there are no pressing messages, notifications for you, it remains colorless. So then you know you don't need to really check your phone. But when the messages come through, it'll start flashing in different colors. It connects with your smartphone via low energy Bluetooth, and it operates through a paired back companion app. It uses a self learning AI model to adapt the color, the rhythm, and the brightness of notifications based on the habits of the user and contextual factors like time of day or notifications as well. The designer says it offers a novel take on the concept of time being the ultimate luxury by shielding you from the constant distractions that are an inevitable consequence of living with modern technologies. You can also personalize which message you see and when you see them. For people looking to improve their digital lifestyle without giving up convenience of having a smartphone or simply blocking it altogether. It's gatekeeper architecture based on your interaction preferences, and it quietly learns how to improve them over time. So they have different colors flash, three different colors: green flash for work, blue flash for family, purple flash for social media. The designer says the color perception is one of the fastest cognitive processes interpreted by the brain, even before shape or language. That speed is evolutionarily rooted. Color helped early humans detect threats, opportunities, and safe environments. So that's why they used color. Well, and also because of the nature of it. I guess it could talk to you. Big message coming in, or it could flash a color, right? They also assign pulse rhythms. It pulses faster for urgent messages and slower for softer ones. Um, no. I just say no. No. Unlike a bracelet or pendant, a ring lives on the hand at the edge of every gesture. Your gaze returns to it constantly, and it becomes part of your cognitive landscape. I just think this is completely unnecessary. The light ring is Spectral's debut product. It'll be available for pre-order in the third quarter of 2025. The product's expected to be delivered in mid 2026. They don't tell us how expensive it is. I don't know. Hmm. It is set in a gold basket. We know that. I um I just think that this is something I could let go. Do you need this? Do you need to be told when you have an incoming important message? Or can you just check your phone every so often? I think we've been getting along fine without this. I don't know. I'm going to the chat. You want the ring? No. Mindy will take one. She likes the big colorless diamond. No. BA Ware will stick with the $1.99 mood ring. Did they forge one ring to rule them all? I don't know. It's so funny. What we spend money on is crazy. It's a waste of money, says Susan. Mama says, I don't even wear my wedding ring most of the time. I don't either. My hands swelled when I got pregnant and I just never really put it back on. No need, says Yvonne. I'm going tiny, purging, donating. Yeah, this is going to be really expensive. A carat and a half with this high-tech feature? No. No thanks. All right, it's time for the lotto of the day. Let's go to it because this, they have I forget what you call it. Someone help me out in the Jewish religion where you keep track of the day your loved one died and a year to the day you you always celebrate that on the date of their death. Donald would rather have the Aura ring. At least it does something better than tell you when you have a notification. This is the date of this woman's father's death. Earned her a lotto win. This Maryland woman used the date of her dad's death to place a $1 bet on a pick 5 lottery drawing and ended up winning $50,000. See, in that case, it's almost like your dad's still looking out for you, right? The woman told Maryland lottery officials she was shocked to realize that her father's death date had given her a perfect match on a straight bet ticket for a top prize in the July 25th evening drawing. She said, I got that bad boy straight. My dad sent me some good luck. Thank you, Dad. Previously, the same lady won $62,000 from a racetrack virtual horse racing game, and she also won a big prize in 2015. She must be a big lotto player. The retailer that sold the winning ticket gets a $500 bonus from all this as well. So the date of her father's death ends up getting her some big money. Did you know? Does he win? No, he doesn't win. No. He maybe. Oh, thank you, Be Aware. It's called Yahrzeit. Yes, Yahrzeit. Heather writes, if it's a lab diamond, 1.5 carat isn't very expensive at all, like $200 in some places. Oh, thank you, Heather. I appreciate it. Nice. Does anybody buy lottery tickets? Do you guys buy lottery tickets? Ricky wants to know. How many people are playing? Oh, your 90-year-old father is in surgery right now. Myra, hope everything works out well and that it all goes as best as it can. I know it's hard to have our loved ones going through stuff like that. I got you, she says. Thanks, Heather. Let's move on to the story about your liver. Speaking of health issues, there's a new story that says most liver cancers are totally preventable. The research is saying that 60% of cases of liver cancer are preventable by avoiding or treating big risk factors. And that includes viral hepatitis infections, alcohol misuse, dangerous obesity-linked buildup of fat in the liver. The findings, they say, are a huge opportunity for countries to target these risk factors, prevent cases of liver cancer, and save lives as well. The study done at the Chinese University of Hong Kong and the research published in the journal The Lancet. They say liver malignancies rank as the 6th most common cancer worldwide and the 3rd leading cause of cancer deaths. And some countries are hit harder by this than others. In China, they have more than 40% of the world's liver cancer cases. And that's mostly because of widespread hepatitis B illnesses. So you get a handle on hepatitis B, you can really make a big impact. Without further intervention, the researchers say cases of liver cancer are expected to nearly double around the world by 2050 to more than 1.5 million cases a year. And once this cancer affects your blood cleaning organ, it can be really difficult to treat. One of the most challenging to treat, with 5-year survival rates from about 5% to 30%, according to this doctor with the university in China. Pardon me. And they're saying we risk seeing close to a doubling of cases and deaths from liver cancer over the next quarter of a century unless there's urgent action to reverse this trend. And it wouldn't be too hard to do, they say, because most cases of liver cancer can be completely avoided. Up to 1/3 of people worldwide have some type of MASLD. It's a slow, steady buildup of fat within the liver, and it's often tied to people who are carrying a lot of extra weight on them. And as these rates of obesity rise, the cases of the condition are expected to rise as well. And by 2040, it's expected that 55% of Americans will have this condition, and that will increase their odds for liver cancer. Liver cancer was once thought to occur mainly in patients with viral hepatitis or alcohol-related liver disease like cirrhosis. But today, the doctors say rising rates of obesity are increasing risk factors for liver cancer. But they're making inroads against viral hepatitis B as well. The proportion of liver cancer cases linked to hepatitis B virus is expected to decrease now from 39% in 2022 to 37% in 2050. I would say we can do better than that, can't we? One approach to identify patients at high risk of liver cancer would be to introduce screening for liver damage into routine healthcare practice for patients at risk of the MASLD. That's the one where you have high fatty liver. So They say better advocacy around healthy diets and regular exercise can help. Even cutting liver cancer cases by 2 to 5% a year would mean 9 million to 17 million new cases of liver cancer could be prevented worldwide by 2050. And the researchers say that translates up to 15 million lives saved just because we change the way we do things. Speaking of exercise and getting out there and making life more healthy, it turns out we know walking is great, right? Walking fast, even better for you. You got to step up that pace. If you want to cut your odds of an early death by almost 20%, 15 minutes out of your day for a brisk walk. The researchers say regular walking, we know that's healthy, but if you get a peppy little pace, it's even better for you. People, they say, should strive to incorporate more intense physical activity into their routine, such as brisk walking or other forms of aerobic exercise. The research done at the Vanderbilt Epidemiology Center at Vanderbilt University in Nashville, Tennessee. The researchers say that the most researchers focused on health benefits of brisk walking among affluent white Americans. But their new study, published in the American Journal of Preventive Medicine, involved predominantly low-income Black Americans living in 12 southeastern states. Nearly 80,000 adults involved in this study aged 40 to 79. And they say that though many of these people lived in poorer areas and had high levels of pollution in their neighborhoods and few safe walking spaces as well, they were asked how many minutes per day they might spend walking slowly, like moving around at work, walking the dog, or doing light exercise. They say statistics on deaths among the group were collected from 2002 to 2022 for about 17 years. And then during follow-up as well, close to 27,000 participants died. So the study's main finding has shown that fast walking, as little as 15 minutes a day, is associated with a nearly 20% reduction in total mortality or deaths, while a smaller reduction in mortality was also found in association with more than 3 hours of daily slow walking. Even after they accounted for other lifestyle factors like diet, smoking, other forms of exercise as well. This benefit remains strong after accounting for other lifestyle factors. So, what does it mean? A brisk 15-minute walk. That's what we have to do. Get out there and really get your heart moving. The regular brisk walks help ward off obesity, high cholesterol, high blood pressure as well. The findings, they say, underscore the importance of promoting fast walking as a feasible, effective strategy to prevent and improve health outcomes, no matter your race and no matter where you live. It's all good. All right, are you ready for it? Let's go. Take a look at our Waterfall Wednesday. And this time I got a party mail from Walter F. He said, "Hey, Kim, I just wanted to let you know that New Zealand has a lot of really beautiful waterfalls that we could look at on Waterfall Wednesday. I was having a look at Google Earth and found enough that I thought you might enjoy seeing them." Or he said we could visit New Zealand on Travel Tuesday. That would also be fun. I agree. Love ya, Walter F. Well, Walter F., I found the 10 best waterfalls in New Zealand. I don't know if we've been to New Zealand before for waterfalls, but I know we have Belinda Weymouth on Wednesdays. We just talked to her on the Mark Thompson show, and she's originally from New Zealand. So I thought, well, how appropriate to take a look at these amazing waterfalls. And here they are. Look at that one. That's beautiful. Oop, that's where I'm getting ahead of myself. Here's the first one. See if I can get that. From the world of waterfalls. This is, you can kind of see how high it is. Yeah. This is a tall waterfall against a beautiful backdrop and of stone. Not a lot of greenery around this one, but it's beautiful and fast as well. This waterfall is Mount Damper Falls. It is in Taranaki, North Island, New Zealand. It is nestled deep off the Forgotten World Highway, and it has a plunge of 74 meters, one of the North Island's tallest waterfalls. You kind of have to go off the beaten path to find this one. You emerge from breathtaking bush and you get this white cliff scenery and serenity that people can only attain by straying away from the usual crush of the tourist beaten paths. So the waterfall makes the list again. Mount Damper Falls, Taranaki, North Island in New Zealand. The next one is called Bridal Veil Falls. I know there's a Bridal Veil Falls pretty much everywhere, right? This one's surrounded by greenery. Look how beautiful that is. Look at how it crashes down into this gorgeous pool at the bottom with ferns and wow, so pretty. Again, this is Bridal Veil Falls, and this is located in Warrenga, near Raglan, North Island, New Zealand, Warrenga. 55-meter plunge. The Maori name is Warrenga, and they say it's really worth the detour to see this one. There's an expansive upper overlook and a dock lookout right at the base of this waterfall. The getting to it is somewhat easy because of a well-maintained walking track, so it's pretty easy to access and to enjoy. It's number 9, Bridal Veil Falls in Warrenga, near Raglan, North Island, New Zealand. The next one really looks more like rapids, whitewater rapids. Look at this one. It's beautiful. It's called Hookah Falls. It's Taupo, North Island, New Zealand. They say this waterfall lacks in height, but really makes up for this in other ways because of its sheer power. Frothing, mineral-rich, powdery blue Waikato River, daring jet boat tours to come closer and threatening to pull them in. It's got a sheer force and character that's so impressive. Loud, powerful. There's a place to look out over this, but this looks kind of like a dangerous situation to me. Again, that is Hookah Falls in New Zealand. This is another one of these falls where you have a lot of little falls all over the place that just add up to absolute wonder. This is Warere Falls, Waikato, North Island, New Zealand. It's a skyscraping waterfall with a towering drop of 153 meters. And it's so tall that you can see it from really far away while you're driving toward it. When you're up close, you get this view from an overlook halfway up the mountain. So beautiful. They say it's gained in popularity over the years, so there's often a lot of people around here. But this is number 7 on the list, Warere Falls, Waikato, North Island in New Zealand. The next one is Maricopa Falls near the Waitomo Caves, North Island, New Zealand. And here is what it looks like. It is wide and it looks loud, does it not? There's the top of the mountain you can see up there. And look at that rushing waterfall. It's a wide, classical, rectangular-shaped, year-round, 30-meter tall waterfall. Throws out mist, even at the lookout, which is just 10 minutes from the road, so another easy one to see. They say most tourists come to this part of the Waikato region to see the glowworm caves, but this waterfall a little further west puts on a real show of its own. It's one of the island's most picturesque waterfalls. So pretty. There's also a natural bridge formed from a collapsed cave in this area. Rocks with fossils of ancient sea life as well. Again, number 6, it's Maricopa Falls near the Waitomo sea worm glow caves. North Island, New Zealand. Number 5 on the list is Bowen Falls. This one looks like something you'd see on Fantasy Island. Pardon me for the way I'm showing the photos, but look at that one. That's a lot of water. So pretty. It's against forested but rocky area. It is in Milford Sound, South Island, New Zealand, called Bowen Falls. The falls have a place where you can walk to access the base. They have closed that path, though, indefinitely. They say this is a gorgeous 161-meter waterfall. It's on bush-clad mountains, so a beautiful backdrop. And you can see it from the popular Milford Sound cruise as well. So pretty. Given the size, overall wild, naturesque feel, it makes its place at number 5 on the list, Bowen Falls. So pretty. The next one is called Sterling Falls, and it looks like you've got to go out on the water to catch this one. Look at the mountain. We'll start with the mountain and go down to the waterfall. Look at that. Yeah, you're not going to hike to this one. It's coming off of a cliff overlooking the ocean. It's so pretty. It's called Sterling Falls. You can see it from Milford Sound, South Island, New Zealand, plunging off a hanging valley between the Elephant and Lion Mountains deep in Milford Sound. This is a 155-meter waterfall that you can see if you tour the mythical Milford Sound. The cruises that go through here will try to drench people that are willing to stand outside on the front of the boat. The nose of the vessel sometimes goes directly beneath the falling waters. They try to get you wet. They're so pretty, though. And again, this is called Sterling Waterfalls, and it's in Milford Sound, South Island, New Zealand. Beautiful. This next one looks really, really tall. Number 3 on the list is called Humboldt Falls. And here is what it looks like. Look how tall that is. I mean, you've got some height to this one. Yep. I'm slowly going down. The picture's so big it won't fit in the screen. Slowly going down, down, down. Yeah, that is a really tall waterfall. But beautiful. This one is Humboldt Falls in the Hollyford Valley, South Island, New Zealand, 275 meters tall. One of the Fiordland National Park's better kept secrets. It's known to people that are big hikers or people willing to take the detour from the Milford Sound Highway. This one is surrounded by bush scenery, nestled amongst majestic peaks. So beautiful. There's a companion waterfall about half of this size nearby. So this is one of the most beautiful waterfalls in New Zealand, number 3 on the list for its height and drama. Number 2 is called the Devil's Punch Bowl Falls. Here we go past this one. Gosh, that's so pretty. Here's the Devil's Punch Bowl. What a beautiful view this one is. You can see it's in this mountainous area with these hills covered in greenery and bushes. It's a towering drop of 131 meters with a stunning alpine backdrop of Arthur's Pass in the Southern Alps. The star of Arthur's Pass National Park. The base of the falls apparently allows you to feel the spray as well. And you can see this view from far away. So there are a lot of different ways to see this one. This is, again, the Devil's Punch Bowl Falls, Arthur's Pass National Park, South Island, New Zealand. And the number 1 waterfall on the list is called Sutherland Falls. Here it is, Sutherland Falls. I don't know why it makes number 1, but yet it does. It's on the Milford Track, South Island, New Zealand, 580-meter waterfall. It is the tallest of the group. Easily New Zealand's most spectacular waterfall. It has a remote location, though. It's deep in wild, beautiful Fiordland National Park, which is, by the way, a UNESCO World Heritage Area. And it's a highlight of the famed Milford Track, one of the finest walks in the world. So we can walk it briskly? Perhaps. This waterfall is so spectacular that it's #1 on the top 10 list in the world, as well as #1 on the top 10 New Zealand waterfalls list. Incredible. That is Sutherland Falls on the Milford Track, South Island, New Zealand. Again, 580 meters. So that's a big girl. She's beautiful. Surrounded by lush greenery, falling off of a mountain cliff. So pretty. Thanks, Walter. You're right. Some amazing waterfalls in New Zealand. And that is Waterfall Wednesday. Thank you for the suggestion. If you have any, feel free to message me, kim@theafterparty.live. kim@theafterparty.live is the place to find me. You can send me notes for trivia categories, because tomorrow is Trivia Thursday. Places we should go for waterfalls, Travel Tuesday, perhaps Hide in Your Cave Monday. It's all good. Whatever your suggestion is, kim@theafterparty.live. Well, that's it. Thank you guys for being here, for hanging out. Yeah, great waterfalls, says B.A. Ware. I'm glad you enjoyed them. Thanks, Walter. We appreciate it. Tall and wide. Oh, yeah. I tried to scroll down. I know it's hard to see the bottom of some of these. They're so tall. Tammy enjoying the waterfalls. Awesome. Beautiful falls today. Hope it was relaxing. There's so much stuff in the world that's the whole point of it, is to kind of take a deep breath and look at these waterfalls together. All right. So thanks for joining in for Waterfall Wednesday. Thank you for joining in for the show. I really appreciate y'all being here. I almost said y'all like I'm from the country. Thank y'all for being here. And I'll see you tomorrow. Tomorrow on the Mark Thompson Show, Mark again returns along with David Katz, the former federal prosecutor. And there's so many stories I've put together to talk to him about this week regarding the law. Also, and we'll see what he has to say about Mr. Beauvais. Also tomorrow, Trivia Thursday, and I've been working really hard. Last week, my mom had a medical issue, and so I wasn't able to do it. So I'm really glad to bring it back. Trivia Thursday tomorrow on the After Party Live, and Nikki Maduro is back in full form and live. And so tomorrow, the Nikki Maduro Show live at 5 p.m. will be underway. Cocktails, mocktails, and politics. And I really hope that you will join in for that. Huge thank you to Luis, who throws in $5. Kim, hope your mom is much better. Mahalo for all you do. Mahalo to you, Luis. Yeah, my mom is better every day. When I'm not here, I've been there. So I'm happy to report that she seems to be making a recovery. She's realizing, though, I think, what happened. And so now there's an emotional toll to be dealt with and talked about. And that's kind of challenging. It's rough, you know. I remember when I was told, because of wearing headphones for years and years, that I had hearing loss. And when you hear that there's something wrong with you, it's kind of devastating, you know, that there's something wrong that you can't fix. So in her case, hopefully we'll be able to prevent anything in the future. But yeah. Sandy has a request for me, and thank you, Luis, for that. I hope tomorrow you can start trivia a bit earlier than usual, because I have a meeting at 2. But I really want to play if possible. All right, Sandy, I'll try my very best to move it up a little earlier so that you can participate, because I love that you love it. So I will do my very best to accommodate you. What time do you think we should start trivia? Like maybe 1:30? Yeah, we'll do a couple stories and jump right into it. We'll do that. Thank you, Sandy. I appreciate it. All right, you guys, have a great rest of your Wednesday, and I will see you right back here tomorrow on the YouTube. And until then, make it a really good day.
The After Party Live would like to thank the following contributors and viewers like you.
Y'all have a good time now, you hear? Uh-oh. I forgot to click the loop. Sorry, birds.